Are you ready for the weekend?
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up and so are we. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell. International.
Hey, wherever you are in the world today, good morning, good evening, good night. I'm Keith, and welcome to our show, Travel Boss. Like I said last week and the week before, Travel Boss. Yes, we're going to boss up with the travel today. Yes, so today I'm really excited about being here to share with you, the audience, some important information as it relates to travel. You know, there's no saying we don't plan to fail, or we often fail to plan. And so we sometimes end up in some very stressful situations that are usually avoidable. All right, so planning here is an extremely important part of our lives. If you've been tuning into Travel Boss the last few weeks, you might have heard some information on travel as it relates to just location wise. You might have heard travel as it relates to destinations and maybe help with travel and planning and that kind of thing. But travel do involve preparation, and as I look to bring information on this travel, yes, it's fun, it's exciting to talk about travel and to look at potential destinations where we want to go. We have our own little fantasies or some of our desires to travel at that location and this location, maybe exotic locations, and we dream of these things and we watch other people traveling and we're like, when will my day come when I travel that exotically or go here or there? A lot of us we tie down to a 9 to 5, and we sometimes don't have the time that we would like to have because the life demand, family wise and other ways. But I think that a big part of life and having a healthy life is how we manage our stress level. All right. And the stress level, and there are certain stresses that comes with travel. So today we're going to talk about, as this show progresses, we're going to talk about some hot deals. We're going to share some hot deals with you and that kind of thing. I learned some lessons traveling, some small lessons I learned, and I think that I really see firsthand how not being prepared, can make the travel experience a nightmare. Now, I give an example. I remember traveling recently, and I had some very important things that I want to bring down. Some personal care stuff, and didn't realize that the size of what I was carrying those things in was also important. So it wasn't the product itself, it was the amount. And so a lot of what I got had to be taken out of my bag and never to be seen again. All right. So, yeah, it was painful because, I bought these things. They're my hard-earned dollars here. Somebody's taken, so I had to buy them again when I got to my destination. So little ideas and tips are important to understand. Now, another thing that's important, and as a matter of fact, have you ever experienced traveling, maybe flying somewhere, and you went to the airport and forgot your documents? It could be a visa, you might have been rushing out of the house, and you forgot it. Now you feel so lost, right? Because it was important to have the documentation on you. But if you look at preparation, I think one of the keys is to have a checklist. Checklist, right? So a checklist is very fundamental and very foundational in doing that last minute checklist. Okay, did I have this? Check it off. Do I did this? Check it off. Do I have this in my bag? You check it off. So that checklist, it keeps you informed, at the moment of leaving your home or wherever you're leaving from, because you can't afford to have these kind of situations where you're stressed, and everything is tied into our health or healthy we are. And I was surprised, and maybe you have, when you heard that the number one killer in life is stress. All right. So many people who might have had a minor illness, it became exacerbated. It became, magnified because of the stresses that was around that. We already live in a world where we have our jobs, and that's enough to deal with. Some of us live in the city where we're dealing with traffic and combustion and rush hour and bills, and just life conditions. So whatever we can do, as I said earlier, to alleviate or lessen the stress, we are doing our body, our mind, our soul, our spirit good. All right. So let's talk about some things that I think that we are to think about. And some people may know these things off the hand. They're very experienced. They've traveled. They know what is needed. They have their go-to guide or their go-to person, for updates. And some people they say they take initiatives, and a lot of us are not. And you're probably the one I'm probably appealing to this morning, the ones who just wait till the last minute. You like that rush, I guess. But there are people who just don't know these things. So if you know it, good for you. But I think it's important to understand. Now, a little bit about myself, for those of you or who may not know, I'm a kind of an eclectic person, all right, in terms of just involved in different things. As a musician, I traveled that way as well. Traveled as a family man. I love sports. Particularly I love tennis. Tennis is one of my favorite sports, and I played it for many years, and coached the game, and trying to get my son into playing it now. So I've been working with him this past summer, and he's actually getting pretty good. Love music. I'm a business owner. I think that is good to own. And if you go to mytravelwishlist.com, there are links there to where you can see how you can become an owner, right? Owner in different ways. So a lot of people may have an idea, what can I own? We see how the world is going, and we see how the job market is, is unstable, and we see how the future pensions that we used to hearing about in times past is maybe a thing of the past. Some of these benefits that a person would work 10, 30, 40 years for in years past would have been great. But as time goes on, we find that those things are slowly dissipating, and so we have to look for other means and ways to secure our future, as we heard on the show previously, with investments, mindset, and just kind of, just improving ourselves in a rounded way. So we want to be healthy. So, and we do get to the age of retirement, or we want to just travel in our youth, we are healthy. No health, I'm not sure how happy you're going to be, but our health makes me feel wealthy, makes me feel vibrant and strong, and just want to go at it. You know what I mean? And that's a blessing. So I'm going to take you to an article that is going to just give you some important things on what it means to travel. And this is coming from travel.state.gov. It's the U.S. Department of State Bureau of Counselor's Office. So this right here is a very short but powerful list of things that we want to think of. And as you also heard in the last show, we talk about getting information. Information is actually the new oil. All right. Get informed. Knowing having information can be very not only empowering but freeing. So I'm going to ask DJ Kelly to kind of help me share this document with you and kind of just trash it through a little bit and kind of share with those who may not be in awareness of the importance of documentation and how they can prepare this. DJ Kelly, how are you?
Hi, Keith. How are you?
Welcome. I tell you.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, you're welcome. And you know me already in fine print, so I'm working on it.
That's why we're here. That's why the ladies are here.
Thank you.
We're here to support our men.
Yeah. Oh, see that? Oh, all the love in the world. All the love in the world. Yeah. Yes,
so under the traveler's checklist, the first one, and this is travel. It's the resource that we're using is from travel.state.gov. So you can visit that website at any point in time. It is a government. It's an official government website. U.S. government. So it's U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Current Affairs, travel.state.gov. So you can always visit that. And we're also going to be having this travel checklist available for you at mytravelwishlist.com by the end of the day. Okay. So number one, get informed. Safety and security information. You need to read the travel advisory and alerts for the countries you will be visiting at travel.state.gov//destination. Please, it's important for you to do so. We're also going to share this information with you on Travel Boss when we separate the shows and we upload them on YouTube, so you can get to access it. And the same place to access it is mytravelwishlist.com. So you can watch this episode later at mytravelwishlist.com for this information again, and it will be shared in the description. Okay. The second one under getting informed, and before Wealth Mindset, right, Keith? She spoke about knowledge is currency.
Yes, it is. Okay. It really is.
The second one is crisis planning. Mm-hmm. And this, I think, is something you should have across the board, all areas of life, right? Mm-hmm. A crisis plan, crisis management plan. So crisis planning. And there it says, read Crisis Abroad, be ready. So there's information that they provide for you that you can read this information and make an evacuation plan that does not rely on the U.S. government. Listen to that. That does not rely on the U.S. government.
Yes.
That's consider important. Buying emergency evacuation insurance. Evacuation insurance.
Something I didn't know I did with until
right?
recent. So I'm learning too. I'm with you on this one here.
Yes, I had some access to this kind of information because I'm a travel blogger, and I've traveled for work. And when you travel for work, you get to learn a lot of the things that as a regular traveler you may not have to worry about. But if you're traveling for work, there are some things you may have to be more mindful of. Yes. Right. And number 4 under getting info. Go ahead.
No, go right ahead. Yes. Go. After you finish reading, we're gonna kind of dissect them a little bit. Yeah. Once you finish reading, we're gonna kind of dissect them a little bit more. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So, and I'm sharing this on the screen. Under Get Informed, number 4 is health precautions. Your health abroad.
Yes.
Your health abroad, and check out recommendations for vaccinations and other health considerations from the U.S. Center for Disease Control and World Health Organization. These are all things to consider when you're about to travel. And then number 4, money matters. Before going abroad, notify your bank and credit card companies of your travel and check exchange rates. That's very important. So there are 4 things under the tab that says Get Informed. 4 things: safety and security information, crisis planning, health precautions, money matters. That is under Get Informed. We have 3 more. Get required documents is number 2. And we'll go through this one. So the first, and they have bullets below. So we're just going to go through the bullets. So safeguard your documents.
Yes.
Safeguard your documents. Make 2 copies of all your travel documents in case of emergency. People treat it like exam.
2 copies, guys. 2 copies. Because you may lose one.
Your examination. And you have all these copies of documents because you don't want to lose anything. So just treat it that way, right? Make 2 copies of everything. Leave 1 copy with a trusted friend or relative at home.
Yes.
Right.
And also too, even like you have a hard copy, and you have copies also like on maybe in a thumb drive that you can also upload anywhere you go as well. I'm getting away in the digital space, so you can have both. Yes.
You know what I do oftentimes whenever I'm going to do anything, I WhatsApp it to myself.
There you go.
I put it on my phone, or and I make it available via Google Workspace. So that anywhere I'm at, I can have access, right?
There
so
you
that
go.
Safeguard your documents. And under safeguarding your document, passport, apply several months in advance for a new passport. If you
as a matter of fact,
one, it should be valid for at least 6 months after you return home. And have blank pages depending on your destination.
Yes. As a matter of fact, DJ Kelly, I realized that a lot of people don't know that their passport is expired even at this moment.
Wow.
So what you want to do, folks, go and check your passport. Sometimes you probably forgot where you put it. Maybe if you try to find it now, you probably might be wondering, where is the passport? Right. And maybe you put it up really safe, but you don't remember where you put it. So at least if you're in the show, you know what? I've not traveled for a while. COVID's been locked down. I mean, have us locked down for a while. And so a lot of people didn't travel as they probably would, Right. So go and check for the passport and see if it has expired. Right. If it has expired, immediately try to work on getting it renewed.
And you can go to travel, and just to let them know, Travel Boss, you see, these days, having a travel advisor is very, very important.
Yes.
There's a reason they exist. There's a reason they exist because they are in the field. They are on top of whatever information is available. They have to follow that information. You are busy living your life and doing your job elsewhere. So let's say your job is a teacher. You have all the information for the education sector because you have to stay up to date with it. Someone in travel is doing the same thing.
Yes.
So while it's important, and while what's important to manage your budget, don't be penny foolish or penny foolish and pound wise.
Something like that.
Right. Something like that. Penny wise and pound foolish. That's what it is.
Yes.
Right. Make sure you get the right advice, because sometimes you go and you try to book the travel yourself and there are things that you just never thought about.
Yes. And things have changed so much.
And it's changing so rapidly. It's changing so rapidly. And the worst part, it's not when you're leaving, because if you're attempting to leave and they stop you and they vet and they check everything, and if something is wrong, you're home, right? But just imagine something is wrong and you are not home.
Yes.
You are at the destination and you're trapped.
Yeah.
You must know where to go.
Yes, and as I mentioned to you, DJ Kelly, earlier, that the stress level for these things can be so intense.
Yeah.
You don't want that stress.
Fun and amazing.
Yeah, you don't want that stress.
Headache. Right. Yes. And that's why my travelwishlist.com is there, because we're all about empowerment and giving you access to information and access to resources so that you can have better outcomes, more positive outcomes.
There you go. Of course. Indeed.
So at my travel wish list, as you can see, I'm sharing my screen. Let me share the screen.
Yes.
And I'm going to go back to the list, Keith. And we may have to do the list in 2 shows because
we do, because it's important. It's
right.
We should rush things because like I said, a lot of people really don't know. They're really kind of behind the curveball with planning these things, and they want to travel. They want to travel. Yeah. So
I love travel.
Yes.
Travel for me is like therapy.
I hear you.
Because I don't like feeling trapped or stuck.
Yes.
And travel for me helps me broaden my scope, and help me understand that there are no limits. I may not have something where I'm currently located, but I could easily travel to another place where it is available.
Listen, DJ Kelly. I grew up in a countryside in Jamaica, right? And where I grew up, in the mornings we'd hear the cock crow, man. And some of these, there's a bird called a nightingale. The sound was incredible. The feel of the fresh dew in the morning and that sunrise and the cocks crowing. Oh my God! I traveled about 2 years ago, and I stayed at the Airbnb, and I'm telling you, I heard the cock crow in the morning. It was a similar kind of feel. It was amazing. It was like music.
Brought you back home, huh?
Oh man! So I know what I'm talking about. So and having a smooth travel. Some people, when they finish traveling, they're being traumatized.
Yes.
And it has been so traumatic that they travel for 2 weeks, and the first week is recovering from the trauma.
I would love, if you don't mind, I would love to share an experience I had with you.
Please do.
Right? And I'm going to attempt to share because, like I said, I blog about my travel. And I just want to share, this. This was my travel to Denmark and Sweden. Right?
Ooh, so look at that. Watch it now.
Yes.
That colloquial feeling there. I like that.
Listen, it was such a beautiful experience, right?
Wow.
But it did not come without its issues. Okay. This, like my blog state, my travel to Sweden was it was a work travel. I got a great opportunity to travel to Denmark, which led us to traveling to Sweden. So let me tell you how we ended up in Sweden, okay? Because we left here to travel to Denmark.
Sounds scary.
Copenhagen for it was a sexual and reproductive health. I don't remember what you call it, conference, global conference.
Gotcha.
Yes. And I'm so grateful to the government of Jamaica and the place I work at the time for giving me that opportunity. It was absolutely amazing. But I remember when we left Jamaica, right? There were 3 of us traveling. And I remember we had one of the board members with us, which was also an elder. So she was the older of the 3 of us, right? And some interesting things started happening. Wow. I remember the first thing that happened was that she left her one of her suitcases, the small one, the one with her money and stuff, was left.
Stress already.
Back at the airport in Jamaica, right? Then when we got there, and then it's as though I automatically became the person in charge. Like everyone was coming to me.
Okay, Raquel, take over. We lost right now.
Yes, and I was like ahead because I moved fast, And I remember when we got to Denmark, we were supposed to stay at a particular hotel. So we got off the airplane, and I think we were in flight like 2 nights. I remember sleeping 2 nights in the airplane, Wow. It's a long flight and it was connecting flights.
Wow.
And I think it was like 3 different flights. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I remember when we got there, tired and ready and it's raining, you just want to go inside, drop everything and just And I remember when we got to the hotel and we went to the desk and asked them, I think it was the lady, that's the board person, because she was the one in charge. She first went and then she came back to me and she said, Raquel, they said we don't have a room here. Like I said, I don't know why I became the person in charge, but yes. And I remember I went and I'm like, but it has to be there. So I went to the desk and I'm like, no, man, you probably need to check again. Let me give you some additional information. Check under this name, check under that name, check under this name. Yeah. Check under the company name.
So didn't even know what name to check under.
I know, right? So it was like he said, well, there was a booking I can see here, but they checked out, and the reservation was canceled. So our board chair had gone ahead of us, right? And she was staying at the hotel, I guess, to make sure everything's good before we get there because we're the lowly employees, right? Yes. At the time, I was an acting director, and I remember when he said that it's raining outside. We don't know where we are. We've only been here for the first time.
My goodness!
No
travel guide. No travel guide with you.
Okay, and I'm calling, and you're traveling on per diem. A per diem.
Oh wow!
Right, so you're not at liberty to just spend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we called back the office and everything, they're like, oh my gosh, they're just hearing that the the chair had canceled it, and then when we eventually got through to the chair, she's saying there's no way we could stay in that hotel. It wasn't up to par, and blah blah blah. But then there was nothing else booked, so we're now trying to see if we can get something booked. Everywhere, nowhere is available because of the conference.
Oh my goodness!
So we ended up getting one room to stay in at the hotel where she was staying, because she hadn't booked a room for us either. Nothing was booked until we got there. And we're standing there hoping they could, because they didn't really have a room. They had to like give us somebody else's room for the night, but we only had it for one night.
Oh my.
Right? Because there was nothing booked for us. Can you imagine being in a strange place and nothing is booked?
That's called stress on steroids.
Yes. So
the double S.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. It's important to connect with people who this is what they do. So and you have to be able to think on your feet, because at that time everybody's looking at me, and well, true to form, it's how I am. I'm solution oriented. So I was already like, I'm trying to find solution. I'm calling people I know in Europe. I'm calling one in the UK. I'm like, check, and like making demands, And when we stayed the night over, then we eventually had to move because, again, no space. So we had to now drive over to Sweden, and we stayed in Malmo because there was no place for us to stay. I just wanted to share that. It was
powerful because
exciting.
Yes, it's powerful because the thing is that, what better way or what source to reach out to who have had the experience too, because it's one thing to say, well, travel, but you haven't done so. One to say go here, but you haven't done so. So so it's good to have the experience, firsthand. Just listen, guys. It's important to have these kind of that kind of preparation, man, because it can be a real challenge when you're there. And sometimes we do travel. We have a budget set aside. We don't want to really mess that budget up.
And I'm telling you, Keith, that's another story I can share with you on here after we returned.
Yes,
it was something, and maybe we can one day talk about traveling for your work, where work travel, yes, where your place of employment send you somewhere. What responsibilities and accountabilities do they have? Because I remember this experience. I took the best from the experience, but if I really looked at it, it was a terrible experience.
Wow.
From a workplace perspective, in that you just left us out there, and then when we came back, all they were concerned about was how much money did you spend, and if you went over the budget and you're supposed to pay it back. It was a whole thing, but that's a whole other story. Perhaps you can invite me and I can talk about it. And I think it's important to talk about, because sometimes we get so excited I'm getting an opportunity.
Yes,
but that opportunity can cost your life.
Yes,
and going to be accountable when you're done.
Yes, the process needs to be vetted, because the company break up, but sometimes the company are people incompetent too. They're incompetent there. They're not always
real humans.
They're not always excited about seeing someone travel either.
Well, but there you go.
That's why I said you have to take accountability and say, you know what?
Yes.
Ask the questions, but sometimes you don't know the questions to even ask. Go to a professional.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned from
go to a professional and ask them.
I need to have a relationship with a travel agent.
Exactly. Even to ask them,
just somebody I can call anytime.
Yes.
Just somebody I can, just can call or whatever, because there are so many things with this trip, but I'm very grateful for it. And it was meant for me to do, for me to learn, because travel.
I can hear the excitement in the voice.
Yeah.
Just keep
Travel
going.
Is freedom, man. Travel is freedom. If you feel stuck, if you feel depressed, if you feel sad, if you feel like you don't know what to do, travel. Not carelessly, but travel. And don't just travel to go spend time with a friend.
Yeah.
No, travel to go learn, to go travel as an investment, as an investor, travel to go build a business. Really use that opportunity in travel. There are people who travel and just stay in the house the whole time.
Yes,
like get out, meet people, learn the culture, so you can build your offering for your entrepreneurship. You can expand yourself. I talk a lot, so
Hey, listen, travel gets me going too. I mean, I have plans to do stuff in Jamaica, even in Africa as well. I have plans to do some stuff.
Yes.
business-wise and connecting-wise. I mean, I think it's important.
Yes.
But I love the excitement, DJ Kelly. I think that this was great. And you see, we don't touch on one or two things, but you see how important
So
it is.
I just want to let them know where we're at, and then next week we could continue. We were under get required documents. Mentioned your passport here, your visas, medications,
cost,
consent for travel with minors. International driving permits.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to
critical.
stop there for today because of time, but they also have get enrolled. You want to rush through it? So you have Smart Traveler and enrollment program, and you have Twitter and Facebook for Travel Gov. And then it says get insured. Travel insurance is so important, and so get insured, health insurance, emergency evacuation, and unexpected expenses. So these are the four. So we pretty much covered all of them. So for additional information, just go to mytravelwishlist.com. And if you go to the website, let me find it for you. Where is it? If you go to the website, you just click on TV show. And as you can see, just right here, quickly, we're here to help you. My Travel Wish List is here to help you travel, help you fulfill your travel dreams. And here are some of the services that they cover. They browse, they give you access to travel deals. So you get the latest special offers and incentives from the world's top cruise lines, hotels, resorts, vacation companies, and other travel partners, including flight. So the flights over here. I was gonna say including flights. And then you have flights and cruises separate, air booking, engine searches, over 900 airlines for all published airfare. And let me see if I click here if it would go. I don't know what's happening here. Right. So while that's opening, I'll go back to it. So that's flights and cruises. Then you have hotel and vacation rentals. Fulfill your travel dreams and experience the luxury you desire. We'll help you book the right hotel or vacation rental that is affordable and memorable. And then this is what we're talking about, Keith. Travel documents, your passport and visa expediting services, travel insurance, and other support services to ensure your trip runs smoothly. We're here for you. That's My Travel Wish List. That's from mytravelwishlist.com. And it's very easy to get their support. You just go, you complete the customer booking form, and they have the insurance waiver form there, the credit card form, or whatever it is that, so you can go, and then they have the booking flights, accommodation,
or rentals. It's really comprehensive, guys. It's a complete
tours and cars. And I was telling you earlier about the search engine where you can go to book a flight. I'm just waiting for it to come up. But when you come on the website to get the information, you just go to TV show and you'll get access to Travel Boss episodes, all the episodes that are here. So for today's information, you just go there and you click TV show, mytravelwishlist.com, click TV show, and you'll be able to watch this again. And all the links will be in the description. Let's see if the engine came up.
Yes.
Right, it hasn't. Okay, here we go. So this is where, see, right here, you can click, if you can see it on the screen, this is a travel data. This is the travel database for My Travel Wish List. You can see you have promo codes, you have hot deals, the deals of the week and stuff. And right here, you can book whether it's cars, cruises, flights, hotels, vacations, and insurance. And
really simple, right directly right there, guys.
Just like all the regular, wherever you go. Yeah, when you go looking for flights or whatever the case may be, it's pretty simple and easy for you. So DJ KTE or Keith for here.
Yes. DJ KTE. Yes.
DJ KTE. That's your travel information for today. I hope it was useful.
Oh, awesome. So folks, again, I hope that you really got some information down. You maybe had your pen and pencil. But again, you can come back here, mytravelwishlist.com. You can just search us out and see how we can benefit you. At the end of the day, it's really about strengthening you and giving you the right information to, again, lessen your stress. We are already going through tough situations. We just came to a tough pandemic and still going through it. And folks, we want to do everything possible to have a stress-free life. All right. So again, welcome, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content because it's about also sharing. To sharing is caring. All right. And so here in Travel Boss, to all you out there, thank you for joining us here on Yumi Radio. And from whatever platform you're from, We wish you a great, 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 healthy life. And that's if you have travel plans, they will go well. And we're here for you. mytravelwishlist.com. So see you again next week. Same place, same time. All right. All right. And then don't forget to go to shopandOwn.com. Whatever you need to order is right there. And, traveling is preparation. So we got it all here for you in under one umbrella. So to make your experience easy, smooth, and you can have an effective and a desired outcome. Again, this is Keith with Travel Boss. Take care, be blessed, and see you next time. International.